Hi there, welcome to Two Birds. I'm Fiona. Welcome back if you're joining me again. Today I'm sharing a 60-minute Vinyasa to Yin practice, combining 30 minutes of Vinyasa flow yoga and 30 minutes of a hip-focused Yin practice. And in this class we focus on the concept of Isvara Pranidhana, which is one of the 5 Niyamas or personal observances outlined in Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. It is a practice of surrender. And for the Yin portion of class, you may wish to have some props along. I'd recommend 1 or 2 blocks along with some cushions or blankets for some of the hip opening postures. I really hope this practice offers you ease and nourishment. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste. And begin your practice in your comfortable seat. Take a few moments to settle in. Gently close your eyes or take a soft gaze down the tip of your nose. Sit tall through your spine with an open posture. And then take a few cleansing breaths, whatever's intuitive, just emptying, surrendering, any holding, any gripping on your exhales. Moving yourself toward a place of ease and stillness. And then simply become present with the sensation of breathing. In today's practice, we explore the concept of Isvara Pranidhana, a practice that invites us to surrender, to let go of resistance, and humble ourselves to something larger. And this something larger is often understood as the divine, a universal energy, or simply the deep flow of life itself. It's a practice of trusting in something greater than our individual selves, whether you perceive this as God or nature, the universe, or your own inner wisdom. Essentially, it's about letting go of the idea that we are alone and embracing the fact that we're part of an interconnected whole, supported, guided, and connected to something vast and loving, even in moments when we may feel resistance, isolation, or we face challenges. If it resonates with you, take a moment to set an intention for your practice, perhaps dedicating this practice towards something significant in your life that guides you, or zooming in on any areas of your life, for example, where you feel you might need to relinquish control to provide space for life to also happen alongside your ideals. And take a deep breath in and a long breath out, bowing your head toward your heart, and a gentle bow to the larger community that joins you in this practice, opening your heart, mind, body, spirit to any intention of healing that may be present for you today, and further dedicating the energy of this practice to the cultivation of surrender, Isvara Pranidhana. Blinking your eyes open and make your way into Child's Pose, Balasana, taking your knees wide, big toes to touch, and your arms reaching forward, resting between your thighs. And practicing a few soft belly breaths, inviting your incoming breath to gently balloon your belly. And every exhale, letting your breath meet any holding or gripping with a quality of softness. Inviting your breath to wash over and around your shoulders, your arms and your face. Soft belly breath. Take one more deep breath in and out. And then lifting up just a little way, slide your right arm under your left for a gentle twist, resting on your right cheek and shoulder. Tuning in to your next breath in, and softly leaning into your twist as you breathe out. 2 more slow breaths. Unravel from your twist, change sides, threading your left arm under your right. Coming back to the immediacy of your breath as you arrive, adjusting for comfort. Breathing slowly in and slowly breathing out. Release from your twist, extend your arms forward and tent your fingers. As you inhale, sense a light stretch from your armpits to the top of your wrists. And then as you exhale, ease your hips back, lengthening through your spine and your side body. Next inhale, press your palms down, glide up onto all fours. And then take the next few breaths to move freely through your spine. So no need to be too structured, simply moving in a way that feels nourishing. Isvara Pranidhana can be expressed in moments of spontaneity in your practice, so just sense what your body's calling for here. Conscious that your breath is leading and guiding your movement. And then return to center, walk your hands forward and step out to plank pose. Actively push the floor away. Gather your abdominals in from your side waist. Gaze forward, and as you hover here, just start to swirl in a circle, adding a little movement to your plank, warming your wrists, and building some heat. And circle back, opposite direction. Sway your way back through center, lower your knees to the floor and come down to your belly for Sphinx pose. Resting onto your forearms, and then move your tailbone down and under. Engage your legs so you have a little air underneath the knees and the support to lift your chest forward through your arms. So each shape's an opportunity to practice moving gently toward your edge, cultivating a quality of being compassionate with your body as you move with less resistance. On an exhale, release down, transition into Locust pose, Shavasana. Bring your arms alongside your body, palms down. And as you inhale, lift your legs, your arms and your chest. And if your low back feels abrupt here, just gently ease off with the wave of your breath. Take one more breath in. And release down, pressing back to child's pose. Direct your breath into your low back, decompressing, and softening your effort on your exhales. Creep your fingertips forward now, anchor your hands into the mat, and take the next few breaths to ease your way into your first downward facing dog. Find your comfortable stride. Explore a little bend in your knees. Just to start off your spine, your side waist, your arms, their full extension. And then move and sway, pedal and stretch in your own way. And find stillness in your shape now, returning to the calmness of your breath, your mind patient and observant. And walk your hands back to your feet and find an easeful forward fold. Hold onto the frame of your elbows. Take a generous bend in your knees and release the crown of your head toward the floor. Moving into a twist, take your right fingertips to the floor ahead of your right foot, bend your right knee, revolving to your left, reach your left arm up toward the ceiling. Work towards straightening your left leg as you twist open. And if you like, you can take a half bind, slide the left hand behind your back, and move the fingertips to the crease of your right hip. Breathing toward your ribs, your chest. One more breath in. And then release. Fingertips to the floor and we'll switch. Bend into your left knee, turn to your right, reach and extend your right arm. Save some space between your shoulders and your ears. An option to take that half bind, right fingertips to your inner left thigh. And then gently release, hang in ragdoll, let your arms go floppy. And then sip a slow breath in, chin to chest, roll and rise to stand at the back of your mat. Bring your hands to prayer, center of your chest. On your inhale, circle your arms overhead, take your left hand to your right wrist, and then cross your right leg over your left, pointing your right toes. Take a side bend over to your right. And we'll walk up the mat here, place your right foot down, and cross your left leg over your right. Switch the hands, left hand, right wrist, side bend over to your left. Once more, come through center, cross your right leg over your left, side bend over to your right. Back through center, cross your left leg over your right, side bend to your left. And then return through center, step up to the top of your mat, lower your hands to prayer, center of your chest. Next inhale, come to chair pose, motion your hips down and back, reach your arms by your ears. 3 breaths here, weight back in your heels, shins back in space. And then on an exhale, stalk pose, single mountain balance on your right foot, stand. Raise your left knee in toward your chest. Just interlace your hands around the front of your left shin there. Standing tall, roll out through your left ankle. And then slowly transition into low lunge Anjaneyasana. Release your fingertips to the floor. Step your left foot to the back of your mat. Soften your left knee to the floor. Raise your arms overhead and stay for a few breaths. Lightly loading and leaning your hips forward as you breathe out. And then stabilize, ease out of your lunge, pulsing with your breath. Next inhale, reach tall, take your gaze up, heart high. Exhale, half split. splits. Hands to the floor, rock your hips back, straighten through your right leg. Keep your right thigh engaged. Right toes really flexed. Wave your spine forward with your in-breath. Fold with your out-breath. 2 more cycles of breath. Lunge forward. Moving into warrior 1. Pick up the left knee, anchor your left heel. Rise up, reach your arms overhead. Just letting your breath inform your posture. Over effort will sound like a choppy breath. So instead, just steady your feet, find a comfortable shape for your spine. And just focus on each breath right now without resisting or pushing. 1 more breath in. And then hands to the floor for down dog splits. Slowly send your right leg up and back. Level your hips. And on an exhale, modified side plank, step your right foot halfway up the mat, over in the right lane, pivot the heels to the left. Balance on your left hand, right hand to the sky. Pausing here. Follow your breath. So using your feet and your obliques to support your body's weight, actively lifting the left side of your waist away from the mat. Send your right arm overhead, reach to the edge of your fingers. And then release. Step back through a vinyasa, plank on your inhale. Lower to your belly, exhale. Cobra pose now, just a low back bend, legs engaged, chest forward. Downward facing dog. 3 cycles of breath. At the end of your exhale, step lightly to the top of your mat. Lengthen your chest forward and fold with your out breath. Come to stand on the new breath. Hands to prayer, center of your chest. Inhale, chair pose. Sit a little lower as you breathe out. And then on an exhale, stork pose, balance on your left foot, gather your right knee in toward your chest. Holding here, rotate your right foot. Spread out through your toes and your ankle. And transition into low lunge, fingertips to the floor, step your right foot back, tap your right knee down. Reach your arms overhead. And lightly pulsing your hips to the beat of your breath. Next inhale, gaze up, reach tall. Half splits. On your exhale, Ardha Hanuman, rock your hips back. Straighten your left leg any amount. Staying present to your breath. Lunge forward on your inhale, flowing into warrior 1. Straighten your right leg, anchor your right heel, rise up. Reach your arms overhead. On an exhale, hands to the floor, down dog splits. Raise your left leg up and back, no rush. Stepping into modified side plank, left foot halfway up your mat, heels to the right. Reach your left hand to the sky. Reach your left arm overhead. And then release through a vinyasa, step back to plank. Lower chaturanga. Inhale, back bend of your choice. and return to your downward facing dog. Breathe in deeply and exhale fully. Take 2 more cycles of breath. Inhale, forward gaze, bend your knees, step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, chest forward, long spine, forward fold. Rise, come to stand. Lower your hands to prayer. Return to chair, lower your seat, reach your arms. And on your exhale now, stork pose, stand on your right foot, lift your left knee in toward your chest. This time balancing in extended big toe pose, taking your peace fingers and your thumb around your left big toe and your right hand to your hip. Extend your left leg forward, Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana, balancing here in your own way. So you could have a little bit of a bent left knee or a straight leg. Just concentrate on coaching your left shoulder back in space so your left foot isn't pulling your posture forward. And keep your left leg lifted. Release your bind, raise your arms overhead and point your left toes forward, standing tall. And flow through Warrior 3. Sweep your left leg back, fly your arms out wide by your side for balance. Just slowly transition here into a high lunge. Softly step left toes back of the mat, raise your arms overhead. Steady your posture. Deep breath in. And open into Warrior 2. Spin your left heel flat, open your arms out wide. Coaching your inner right thigh wide. Feel the engagement of your legs. Lift up through your core. And keep an easy feeling through your arms. On your inhale, reverse your warrior. Right arm reaches up and back. On your exhale, side angle pose. Right forearm to your right thigh. Reach your left arm overhead. Just pausing here, left pinky finger rotates down. Feeling strong in the legs, anchored and strong through your left heel. Circle your left hand down to the floor. Take Skandasana, side lunge to your left. Bend your left knee, straighten your right leg. Inhale here. Skandasana over to your right. Straighten your left leg. Keep your chest open, bright. Once more, side lunge to your left. And then turn and face the top of your space. Transition into Half Moon Ardha Chandrasana. So balancing on your right foot, right fingertips to the floor or a block. Slowly raise your left leg. And you're gradually opening your hips to the left. Pausing to balance here. Let your eyes settle to a still point. Relax your jaw and follow your breath. And slowly now, turn your left hip down, hands to the floor, stepping up, top of the mat. Inhale, take a halfway lift. Exhale, fold and release, Uttanasana. Rise to stand. And hands to prayer. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. On your exhale, stork pose. Balance on your left foot, raise your right knee. Holding in your balance, take your bind for Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. Peace, fingers, thumbs around your big toe. Left hand to your left hip. extending any amount with your right leg forward. Same time, just conscious of your shoulders, drawing your right shoulder back in space, standing tall through your spine. Keep the lift of your right leg, release your bind, raise your arms overhead, point your right toes forward. And then flow through Warrior 3, sweep your right leg back, arms out wide. Hover for a moment. And then slowly land in your high lunge. Right toes to the back of your mat, arms reach overhead. Take a breath in. Warrior 2. Anchor your right heel, arms wide at shoulder height. Inhale, reverse your warrior, left arm up and back. Unrush breath, transition into side angle pose, left forearm to your left thigh, reach your right arm overhead. Just notice if you have space to lunge a little deeper, chest open. And circle your right hand down to the floor, flow into your side lunge to your right, Skandasana, straighten your left leg. Inhale here, Skandasana to your left, straighten your right leg. Once more, side lunge, your right. And then turn, face the top of your space, transitioning into half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Balancing on your left foot, just see your left toes point to 12 o'clock. As you slowly raise your right leg, opening your hips to your right. Expand and engage from the center of your body to the edge of your limbs. And then slowly now turn your right hip down, bend the knees, hands to the floor, step up, top of your mat. Inhale, take a halfway lift and pause here. Toe heel your feet wide apart for Malasana Yogi Squat. And as you're ready, lowering your seat, taking a version of Malasana that feels restful for you, or option to hold in a forward fold, raising your hips, folding close to your thighs with a soft bend in your knees. And just lingering here, you might like to close your eyes, letting the cadence of your breath slow down, breathing gently, starting to dissolve your effort and momentum. We'll transition slowly into the yin portion of class. As you're ready, just gather any additional layers to keep yourself warm, any props you have to help support you, bolsters, cushions, blocks. From here, we're going to move into a winged dragon pose. Keep your right foot forward, top of the mat, step your left foot back into a lunge position, left knee to the floor. And then see that you have a diagonal line from your left hip to your knee. Then turn your right foot out on a diagonal, winging your knee to the right. An option to come onto the outer edge of your right foot. So for support in this posture, you have some choices. You can pad your left knee with a cushion or a blanket. You may also find that one or two blocks might be useful in raising the floor to meet your hands or your forearms. You can place the blocks on the inside or either side of your right foot. So in this posture, we're targeting the front of the left hip, your hip flexors, and with the right knee out on an angle, you're also including your outer right glute. And these are often quite fiery spaces in the body, so just ease in with care, finding the essence of the posture for your body. And it's important in all these postures that you tune into the feedback from your body, you settle into a place where the breath can flow, a shape where you don't feel like you need to contract. So it's not about how far you go, but how you're able to be in the feeling of the pose. And once you're set up, just begin to soften and settle. You can relax your head forward and down. You can unclench your jaw. And as you relax your face, we signal to the nervous system that we're safe. It's breathing slow, intentional breaths. And if sensation is building for you, see how you can be with that sensation with a deep, soft breath. Just holding any resistance with your attention, your compassion. Remember, you can always move out of the posture if you need a break. And take another full cycle of breath, staying in your shape. And then slowly start to move out. So pressing your body up, pushing your right foot down to straighten your left leg just for a little moment of relief. And then as you're ready, find your way into child's pose, easing your hips back toward your heels. Knees can go wide or narrow. Relaxing your arms alongside your body or arms forward, forearms resting. And as you rebound here, just let your attention be with your hips. Notice any difference in sensation between the sides. Give your body a few moments to feel safe and cozy and held. And then as you're ready, coming back onto your hands and knees. Shift your hands over into the right lane of your mat, make space. Just step your left foot forward for dragon on this side. So, coming into that variation that offers sensation without any sharp pain. And then just settling in, making sure you feel supported, inhabiting your body with your full attention and acceptance, softening your shoulders and your face, and softening from the inside of your hands, all the muscles in your hands and your fingers. All the muscles in your hips. Settling in with a steady breath. And take a slow breath in and a long breath out, starting to transition out of the posture, really using the palms of your hands to give yourself support as you lift your upper body, perhaps straightening your left leg for a few breaths. And then find your way back into child's pose, hips to heels, forehead to your mat. And feeling your breath meet your legs through its connection to the belly. And perhaps sense your breath along your back. And in the spirit of Isvara Pranidhana, approaching each of these yin postures with the quality of surrender. So resistance in your body, when you resist it, it tends to grow. So here, just taking the time to be intentional about letting go, but also to support yourself in a way that helps facilitate this. So slowly now returning to all fours. We'll set up for frog pose. If you have a bolster or a few cushions, couch cushion to rest your torso on, just grabbing them now, placing them lengthways in front of you. And there's an option to place a blanket across the mat to support your inner knees. So just separating your knees out to the sides now. See if you can position your ankles and your knees at 90-degree angles. So you can choose to move your hips forward a little bit for less intensity and use more bulk in your support in front of your chest, or you can move your hips back so they're in alignment with your knees for more intensity. So just take your time to shift and find the sensation that feels right for your body. Just approaching the pose in an unrushed manner so you can take some sweet, slow breaths when you arrive. Sensing that your hips have the gift of gravity here, just receiving that gravity in a way that feels right for you. Noticing anywhere where you might be bracing, and adjust with more support if it frees your muscles to relax. So all these small actions of noticing, listening, acknowledging connect us to that state of surrender. Last few breaths here. Preparing to move. Scoop your knees in. And once more, just when you're ready, ease back into child's pose. Just checking back in with your hips, the inner, outer, front and back. Noticing sensations. Breathing into your pelvic bowl. Just imagine or feel your breath circulating in and around the hips. And then just slowly make your way up into a seated position. Sweep your legs around in front of you. You might like to move the legs a little, roll out through the feet, give the legs a shake. And we'll move into our final yin posture, dragonfly pose, a wide straddle. And if you know your hamstrings or your inner thighs are particularly tight and they tend to block you in forward folds, you may wish to move to a wall space and practice this posture with your legs up the wall and then taking them into a wide V shape if you have that option. It's a great alternative and you can enjoy the shape as it was intended. At the same time, navigate around your hamstrings. If you're sitting upright with me, you can use a folded blanket underneath your sitting bones. The purpose here is just to allow the pelvis to tilt forward. Then just take your legs comfortably wide. Deliberately heavy your legs, let them go soggy. Soften your feet and your toes. Aiming just to let go of all the muscular effort and engagement. If you haven't already, just invite your head to roll forward. Rest your hands to the mat or offer yourself some support, building some support in front of you with your props. We'll linger here for the next few minutes. Just give yourself the anchor of your breath. Keep returning to it. Aware of your breath flowing in. Aware of your breath washing out. And just accepting any limitations without judgment. So if you're meeting some challenge here rather than forcing or resisting your way through, this concept of Isvara Pranidhana is about trusting the process rather than forcing a result. So letting the practice be an expression of devotion to the process itself rather than striving toward the perfect fold here. Gently drifting back, take a long, slow, deep breath in. And release it. Coming out of your shape, either walking your hands back in, or if you're against a wall, you can bend the knees, walk your legs together up the wall, and you can rebound there, pausing with your legs up or with a little bend in your knees. If you're upright, come to rest down on your back. Take your feet wide, knees bent, and let your knees knock in. Just observing now the feeling tone through the back of your legs, the inseams of your legs, and your back. Let your mind's eye follow each sensation as it arises and it fades. Usher a soft breath to those places. And just as you're ready, we'll transition into Shavasana, final rest pose. Extending your legs out long, let your feet flop out to the sides. Rest your arms by your sides, palms skyward. Offer yourself this time to rest and recharge. Take a long, slow, deep breath in and gently release and relax through your whole body. Allow your expression to soften across your forehead. And let that release travel down over your face, into your shoulders and your arms. Feeling your fingers curl in toward your palms. Your legs softly relaxing outwards. Your heels heavy. And let this shape, this feeling you've created, invoke surrender, letting go of intentions just for now. As you settle in, remember that you are not alone in every breath, every thought, and in every moment of stillness. There is a presence that is always with you. Practicing Isvara Pranidhana, we open ourselves to this connection. We have this opportunity to let go of resistance and flow through our lives with hope and faith. It's finding completion, peace, tranquility in this stillness now. I'll be back to guide you back. And very gently now start to deepen your breath. Find some movement through your feet and your fingers. And then stretch out in your body in whatever feels intuitive for you. And then bend your knees, place your feet to the floor. Roll softly to your right side. Blinking your eyes open, welcome in the light of your room. And just slowly ease your way back up to sit. Bringing your hands into prayer at your heart center, Anjali Mudra. Taking a moment to return to your intention, or simply connecting here together with one last unifying breath in and out. Thanks so much for joining me for this longer practice. I hope it's offered you a sense of ease and peace that you can carry with you as you move into the rest of your day. Namaste.